Hi, and welcome to NicheCraft. My name is Cassie, and I'm your host, and today I want to create a special colorway, just one that has been kind of in my head, and the colorway is going to have to do with negative space. So first, let me go ahead and tell you what we have here. So the yarn that we're going to be working with today is the Eco Superwash. Let me make sure you can see this. The Eco Superwash fingering weight. It is 398 yards for 100 grams. It is from Knit Picks, and if you want to purchase this yourself, I do have a link in the description. Let me see if you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. It is 70% superwash fine Highland alpaca, 30% nylon, and it says machine wash cold, tumble dry low. No, I would tell you to dry flat. Or spin dry it maybe. But anyway, so I have this soaking in 5 cups of water plus 4 tablespoons of white vinegar. And the reason that I have so much white vinegar in it is because of what I've envisioned for today's colors. So I want to first tell you guys that I am working with a little bit of new dyes today. So I am working not with the jacquard dyes that I usually work with, but with the Dharma acid dyes. So it's the same thing, same idea. You make them exactly the same way, only they just have different colors. So we have pistachio, and that is our nice pea green. We have duckling, which is the palest yellow they have. And we have peach blush, which is a little bit more on the blush side of peach than I would like it to be, but it was the closest thing to what I had envisioned for when I was thinking about these colorways. So I'm going to show them to you in my cups here that I have. So this is what pistachio looks like. Hopefully it shows up true on the camera. And this duckling looks a little bit orange here. And then the peach blush looks very, very blushy. In fact, this looks like it would make a really nice colorway itself, but you know how it looks in my 1% dye stock solution versus in my cups where I've diluted it down a little bit versus how it looks on the yarn. That's what we're going to find out. So I've decided to try a new dye application method involving these little syringes. I had conceived of what I wanted to do with this yarn and this dye, but I was thinking, well, how am I going to be able to get exactly what I want? And I decided that I'm going to need to apply the dye with these little syringes, and you'll see what I want that to look like in just a bit. So before I begin, I just wanted to say, if you want to do this in your own kitchen, but you don't want to work with acid dyes, which requires some safety equipment, you can use diluted food coloring in lieu of this, okay? Just add maybe 20 to 25 drops of food coloring to get a real bright color. Use a little less for a pastel, and it will work exactly the same, okay? These acid dyes, what makes them different is that they're a commercial grade. So if you want to dye your own colors at home, that's what I would suggest. Otherwise, check out my beginner dye video for acid dyes, and you'll see all the equipment you need for that. So now that I've said that, I will tell you about the colorway. So yeah, I really am interested in negative space right now. When I first got out of the hospital, as you can see, I still have my little bracelets on. I'm currently recovering from surgery. When I first got out of the hospital, I decided that I was going to learn how to make socks, and so I learned how to make socks, and I made a sock, and I was really excited. And you know, this is a sock weight yarn, weight 1. So I decided that I wanted to make socks in a different colorway, and I wanted one colorway for the socks and one colorway for the heel and toe. So that's why this is a double one, okay? So what I envisioned was these little splotches of color. If you maybe grew up in the 90s with the Nickelodeon splotches, where it would just be a splat and then some little dots here and there around that splat, you'll know what I'm talking about if you grew up in the 90s. If not, I might sound like I'm speaking gibberish, but I wanted something like that. And I wanted to see if I could create that, but with a mostly white background. And I thought that these three colors would do really awesome with that. So that's where the syringes come in. All right, so now that you know the idea, I'm going to go ahead and fill up this syringe. Now this has that yellow. This might be a little bit too much, but we will find out. It's already dripping right there, and I am going to splat it. Well, hey, there you go. So there's just a splat of color right there on that yarn. So I'm going to do this a couple more times. This is actually really fun. Okay, so that seemed more like a stream of color than a splat. I want it to be more, I don't expect that it's going to be perfectly circular or anything, but I want to control it so that it's at least in like one area. Okay, so I've almost gotten enough. I think I'm going to put 2 more splats on each one of the yarns. So this one will get another splat right here at the end, right up against the edge. And this one will get another splat right here up against its edge. All right, so you can see that we still have a lot of white space, and I'm going to pretty much keep it like that. Another thing that you can see is that that looks really orange, it's actually pretty yellow, so that's good to know. Now I don't want to touch this because I kind of want this to be designed not as a Jackson Pollock, but as a NicheCraft with Kassi. So I've got to like not touch it once I splat it, if that makes sense. I'm thinking about the words I'm using. It's like, gosh, are you sure you stopped using that paid med? Yes, I have been paid med free for 2 days, and I am so glad. I feel like I have my wits about me. So now we are going to try the peach blush. I have no idea if this is going to be more orange or blushy, but I hope it's a little bit more orange than I'm thinking it might be. So we're going to start over here. Oh, that's perfect. That was the perfect color. That was exactly what I wanted. Awesome. Going to put one right here. Oh, I love the way this is looking. This is gorgeous, guys. I really love the way it looks. Oh my goodness, and it's so much fun. I can't tell you how much fun it is to just splat that on there. All right. So now we've got as many peach blush splats as we have yellow. Kind of want to do another one in this area right here. Maybe it'll catch both of them. Wow, I like that. So now we have some splashes of yellow and some splashes of peach. So now we are going to go on to the green. I'm going to use a different syringe for the green because I don't want the colors to mix. Yellow and that peach didn't matter to me as much as this green. Now this green, not certain exactly how pale it's going to turn up. It might be a little bit more paler than these colors. At least that's what the swatch looked like in Dharma's advertising, but we will see. So now I've just got to splash it. Oh, this is perfect. I like these colors of Dharma dyes here too, just got to say. Very pretty. That is a really great pistachio color too. At least I think it is. Okay, so I'm just going to try to fill in the empty spaces with this pistachio here. And I'm already absolutely loving this colorway. I think it's gorgeous. And you see how those splashes of color just look so nice next to that white background too. It looks not like speckling, but it's got like, it comes from the same idea as speckling does. So for those of you who this is their first video watching me, I want to tell you some of the things that I've done differently in this video versus when I usually dye yarn. Usually I only add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, and I usually dye 3 hanks of yarn at a time. So this time I'm down to just 2 hanks of yarn, and I added 4 tablespoons of vinegar. Now with acid dyes, it's the acid or the vinegar that helps that dye to bind to the protein fibers that are in the wool. So, and there's protein fibers in acrylic as well. So the more acid, the quicker the color will bind. Sometimes we want to add color and we want to let it bind over time because we want it to have a nice watercolory feel, right? But this time I wanted the colors to bind pretty quickly, so that's why I added more vinegar. So basically I think a lot of these colors have probably already set. Now the other thing that helps this color to bind is going to be heat, and I have not turned up the heat yet, so that is going to be what I do now. I'm going to turn up the heat to medium high here, just kind of get it hottest, you know, pretty quickly here. Usually I might turn it to medium, but I want to get it hot quickly so it has a chance to bind. And after giving this about 15 minutes and then coming back and seeing how it is, we'll go ahead and look on the opposite side to see if the colors have penetrated. I'm assuming that they probably haven't, and we'll have to do a second application on the other side in order to get this colorway complete. All right, guys? All right, guys, welcome back. This has set perfectly. If I push on this, I can't get it to spread, and it's just barely showing up as having some more dye in there, showing the green and the yellow. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to flip this and we're going to do the other side. But again, I just wanted to mention that what makes this colorway really work, at least in my opinion, and you guys might disagree, but what I think makes this colorway work is the negative space, is where the white is, because that's, you know, because the splotches of color, it just kind of makes them more special. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's the way I look at it. So let's go ahead and do this together. I do want to say that I have added an extra 2 cups of water and 1 extra tablespoon of white vinegar, so that this side will have the same opportunity as the other side, because some of that water steamed off as it was setting. And something else that I'm noticing here, and maybe I didn't do a good job of turning it over very well, but it looks like we did have some color penetration all the way to the other side, which is nice. That is really nice to know that. But now we are going to splat it again. I don't know a better way to put it, with the same colors. Okay, so here we go. Starting with yellow. Just gonna come in here and add some colors. Okay, now we're moving on to the peach. And now we are going to move on to the green. So I don't know, you guys let me know if you like these three colors together or not, because when I was thinking about creating this colorway, I was thinking of, it seemed like it was something from a memory, maybe like a CD or a screensaver, something like that. And I was remembering the colors from that memory. And that's what got me thinking that these colors would look really good together. So I haven't been able to identify what that memory is from. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But anyway, just wondered what you think. So at least two people think that these colors go together. Whoever made that, whether it was a CD or a screensaver or whatever, whoever made that, and also me. So just so you know, two people think they look good together. But what about you? What do you think? Because some people aren't big fans of yellow, and it's not like I'm on a mission or anything. It's not like I need you guys to like yellow, but I want to show you ways that yellow can be used and have it look really, really nice. And I think that this is a good example, because in this colorway we have these little splotches of colors, and it's almost like, and they're relatively pastel too. And it's almost like once we get to a splotch of color, regardless of what color it is, it's kind of like that's a special moment. I might be thinking a little bit too hard about making colorways right now, but hey, But anyway, that's kind of the way I thought about this colorway. So now I am going to turn the heat back up, let it sit for another maybe 10 minutes or so, and after that I will go ahead and wash it with you guys and see if we have any color bleeding. All right, guys, see you then. Hi guys, so I wanted to show you what this colorway ended up looking like. So we have the alpaca sock here, and here's the second alpaca sock here. Yeah, and then here is the 100% merino, and this is the one that has that kind of shine to it. And this is the extra fine merino, and this is also the sock weight. So let me go ahead and zoom in to see if you can see the difference a little bit more closer on what this, because see, this is a nice just single ply here, and again this is the 100% merino, okay, and it's the extra fine merino in a 1 weight, and then this is the alpaca sock. All right, so I just wanted to show you what that looked like. And as you can see the green, you can see that peach, and here is that yellow, which I absolutely love these colors. I thought that these colors were amazing. So let's go ahead and unravel this and see what it looks like when it's not hanked up. So let's see if our the way our color application kind of stayed true. All right, so you can definitely see when you look at it like this, when it's unhanked, you can definitely see the different spots of color here. All right, and I think that that looks really cool. And let's go ahead and see how it looks like on this one here. So on this other sock weight yarn, and again, I personally really love this. If you're not allergic to wool, this is just some really nice wool here. And we've got the yellow, and then here's a peach, here's that pistachio green. And you know what, I cannot remember for the life of me what album that this is reminding me of, and it might be just something else that I'm thinking of, but I looked through so many like albums from the 1990s and the early 2000s that I just got so tired of it. And so I just wanted you guys to know that maybe it's not an album. Maybe there's something else where this color scheme came up that I just saw a lot. You know, one of the things that I suggested was maybe a screensaver, just something that I saw a lot around the late 90s or early 2000s that brought up these colors. I absolutely love this colorway. And I did something else here. Just because I had some colors left over and I don't like to waste my dye here. And that is that I went ahead and took another one of these alpaca socks, and I made a gradient that went from yellow here to orange to green. So we've got green, yellow, and orange, just like that. Isn't that cool? And so I thought that this looked really pretty. And so what I've decided is not only is this colorway going to be added to my shop, but I'm also going to create a set out of these two with this different colorway that I created. And this colorway is just going to be a set, a limited edition set here, that I will be, I'll be charging $40 for this, free shipping. They are a nice matching set, and so I thought that that would be really nice. And then the rest of this is going to just be sold in my Etsy store. So what am I going to call this colorway? Well, I've decided to call this colorway Push Pop because I kept thinking about how much these colors reminded me of sherbet. And when I was a kid, we used to have an ice cream day on Fridays, and the ice cream, back then it cost 25 cents. And on Fridays, if you brought an extra quarter to school, you could purchase ice cream. And my favorite ice cream that I purchased was Push Pops. Now, they only had orange at my school, and Greg says that they've had another color, but he wasn't certain which one it was. I absolutely loved those Push Pops, and I wanted to just kind of give a nod to them. And I also, you know, I know that they make lemon and lime sherbet as well, so I just thought that that would be a nice colorway, you know, something to call it. So this colorway, Push Pop, is going to be available in my Etsy shop now. And this right here, I'm going to call this a limited edition Push Pop Duo, because I'm not going to sell this right here. Even though I really do like it, I'm not going to sell this. And so we will have this listed and this listed. And remember, you know, this is a limited edition. Only one of them I'm going to sell, so it'll go from my store pretty quickly. That said, thank you guys so much for watching this dye video. I really enjoyed this, and I love the technique, and I'm definitely going to be playing with this technique in the future. Remember to check out my giveaway. I do have a giveaway going right now. It's really nice, really big. If you haven't gotten into it yet, go and find that video and make sure you enter. And in addition to that, I also have lots of other kinds of yarn videos. I have mystery yarn unboxings, I have crochet tutorials, I have book and magazine flip throughs, all sorts of different kinds of yarny content. Look for my Vice and Virtue colorway to come out this week, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye for now.